Welcome back to My Way. Now, in Outback Queensland, roughly 600 k's southwest of Townsville, sits a small farming town called Winton. Despite the fact that it only has 1,000 residents, it's getting quite the reputation around the country for two things.
When you're travelling around Australia, you say, I'm from Winton. We're seeing this big uptick of people going, oh, the dinosaurs. Or, oh, the flies, they're really bad out there, aren't they? So that's always interesting. G'day, I'm Grace, and this is my stomping ground. Winton is my hometown. We're more or less in the middle of central West Queensland, and Australian Age of Dinosaurs has been up here on top of the jumper since 2007, although officially opening in 2009. So our founder here at the Age of Dinosaurs is David Elliott. So David and my dad are third cousins. It's Winton, we're all related. So what essentially happened is David was out mustering sheep on his property back in 1999, and he had to swerve his bike to avoid running over a pile of weird-looking rocks, which, upon closer study, turned out to be the thigh bone from a big sauropod, a big long-necked plant-eating dinosaur. She's roughly the same size and measurements as the one David found back in '99, so if you can imagine being out in the paddock and finding this, your first thought's going to be dinosaur as well.
In 2002, Grace's parents bought a second property that bordered David. So you could say she literally grew up with dinosaurs in her backyard.
We could see they were running a dinosaur dig just over the boundary fence. So we went, oh, let's go see what that is. And I actually found the photos from that dig the other day. Oh, I had a closer look. I'm like, oh, who let a kid on a dinosaur dig? That's me! So that was pretty exciting. I actually wanted to be an archaeologist when I was younger. So my plan was, okay, we've got a dinosaur museum here in Winton. There's got to be some crossover between paleontology and archaeology. Well, I contacted the museum and said, hey, I'm a Year 12 student, I'm a Winton local, I'd like to do work experience at the museum, can I pretty please? And they said, look, we're really busy over school holidays, we can't actually take you then, but we can pay you to work in our cafe. And I went, ooh, money, yes please. Shortly after I turned 18 the following year, 2014, I saw an advertisement for a tour guide and I went, oh, being paid to talk, I could do that. We're looking for colour, pattern and texture changes to let us know what's rock and what's bone. A couple of years later, I became one of our senior tour guides, and 2016, I became a Savannah guide, so I was accredited through the Enterprise, which was very exciting. It is the highest level of accreditation that guides can achieve in Australia, and it just looked like something really worthwhile and worth doing.
Then, in 2017, Grace was accepted into the Australian Young Tourism Leaders Program, which, as you can imagine, she was very excited about.
I got it! So we're all very excited. I get a phone call about 2 hours later from the Young Tourism Program saying, so this is a top secret and you can't tell anyone. From now on, I will not tell anyone. You know, I've already told everyone in the office. Mum's told all of the relatives in Winton and half of the relatives out of Winton. I was like, yes, well done, Grace, you can keep a secret. We run a training program out here. I'm going to give you a quick crash course in how to tell the difference between rock and bone, how to prepare the animals out of the earth, and how to fix the broken bones as well. Our two best friends in this facility are super glue and 5-minute arrowbite. Best reaction I've had to my jokes in weeks, thank you.
I spend 16 to 18 weeks of the year out here in Winton now, and every little bit of rock I remove that exposes part of that fossil, no living eyes have ever seen that before.
No matter how small the bone or how insignificant it seems out in the field, once you get it back to the lab and you start working on it, you realise, hey, this is a 95 to 98 million-year-old dinosaur bone. This is the real deal. It's still here, and the amount of information that we're going to get from this bone, that's incredible. That's so amazing. These are genuine footprints, and we've relocated them for their own safety. My favourite thing is whenever I go somewhere and people go, oh, you've done all these amazing things. What's your degree? What's your background? I don't have one. I learn everything on the job. Honestly, I think that's the only way that I would have learnt all of the things that I've learnt. eventually we're hoping to be big enough that we'll be an internationally recognised natural history museum. So like the Smithsonian of America, the Royal Tyrrell of Canada, London's Natural History Museum, this is going to be something that people will travel from all over the world to see. And that's our eventual goal. And the best part about working for a museum is I'm literally paid to be a giant nerd, and that's pretty good.
If you'd like to visit the Australian Age of Dinosaurs or learn more about their Digger Dino and Prepper Dino experience, just head to the AustralianAgeofDinosaurs.com.